Yeah, disconnected my controller. Do you have to
Welcome if you are joining us live this evening. We're just waiting for the guys to prepare and get themselves ready for the SARCO Season 3 2018 RSO1 Championship. We're going to be racing in Brno GP, the Czechoslovakian track, and I can tell you the guys are pumped up and ready to go. As I said, we are just waiting for the final guys to make that check and get themselves ready. We have a full lineup this evening, so we're very excited to get this on the go. As I said, looking at the conditions for this evening, it is going to be a 20-lap race. It's going to be starting at round about 2 o'clock and in the afternoon. Weather looks like it's going to be a little bit cloudy, and I think it's going to go into a sort of overcast. It looks to be a little bit cool as well. So, main contenders are going to be wanting to keep those tires up and running and as warm as possible in this event. So, just having a look at the lineup this evening, we've got Ash, we've got Jakes, we've got Doopy, we've got Bruno, as well as Ross. Andrew's joining. That's fantastic to see him back on the track. We got Mal, as well as David from TNB. And then we've got Ronald and Marius in Pool 1 this evening. So 11 drivers are going to be participating. We're just waiting for Dylan to get himself into the room. And then we will be continuing on with our racing this evening. So if you are joining us via the live stream, welcome. And it's great to have you on board. Just put up that like button for SARCO. And obviously the South African racing community online would appreciate that as well. So here, smash that like button. Thanks for joining us this evening, and I'm sure we're going to be taking you through a great evening of racing here at SARCO. And we're looking forward to bringing you all the action here on the live stream. So as I said, we are currently looking to see who's going to be going ahead here in Brno in the Czechoslovakian Grand Prix circuit. So we'll be all waiting to see what's happening, and so we'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. So what we're about to do is across live to the guys on the track this evening, and it's going to be all good, and we're going to be watching and listening to what is taking place. So let's go along right now and join these guys live in the party chat. So as you can hear, they're busy setting up, making themselves comfortable. They are waiting for a number of guys to just ready up, get themselves ready to go. Let me just make sure that I am in the right place. And just to make sure that I'm going to be readied up as well. I'm voting to go.
Okay, so I see Chase is clashing with Ronaldo and Jacques. So once we start and go in, then we can just disconnect them.
Alright.
I mean, disconnect Chase. I mean,
Wil jy ek moet eers uitgaan tot hulle in die practice is?
no, let's just see what happens. As long as it starts and it goes through, then it should be fine. But if you and Ronaldo disconnect, then just come back, because then I'll disconnect Chase.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. It's just that because it won't let us start the race if both a broadcaster and a director aren't selected. But otherwise, we all here.
Alright.
Sabi, can you hear us? So guys, I did tell Sabi to just start the live stream at 1:15, just in case we had issues like this, and now we're officially on time.
So we're going to wait until 1:15.
It is, yes, 5 minutes time.
Okay, no, that's how the race stop.
What a bad idea.
Yeah.
How's it? I see you live. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna get going now. Cool. Thank you. Java. Okay, as soon as Stupi gets back, we can get going.
Jy moet net vir Chase weer insit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ja. Dit is eintlik snaaks, hulle speel van dieselfde lyn af.
Doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, well, shock. Chase is no longer clashing with you. Check that out. Why, man? Yeah, but I'll still drop him out anyway.
And with Ronaldo?
No, not at all. Ronaldo says something important?
Yo, pressure.
Ek moet eintlik vir Marius daai ander Aston stuur met hom op sy trofee, so dis 'n mooier Aston.
Ja, dat Aston is lekker.
Ja.
Want to be.
Hy kom nou net gewoon goed verloor.
Kom, dit gaan verder koop.
Okay, Jacques, we're also just waiting for your thumbs up.
Okay.
All right, so away we go. As you can see, the lineup is pretty full this evening, and we're going to be enjoying some racing here at BRNO. As I said, we're going into free practice, and then from free practice we'll be going into qualifications, and then we'll be going into the main event. And as I said, around about 20 laps this evening. So we do have quite a participation from this group this evening. So hopefully we're going to bring you some exciting racing here on SARCO. That is the South African Racing Community Online. And if you are interested in joining the group is growing nicely. So what you do is get onto the Facebook page and then get a hold of one of the guys. Namely Dylan, and he will get back to you and obviously give you an invite to come and join us here on the South African Community Online. And as you can see, the guys are in the track, in the pits at the moment. We are on Dylan at the moment before we get across and see who is exactly going to be racing out there first. And there we have Turbo Charles as well as Marius. I think Marius is out on the track. You can see he's pretty keen to get out there, get those tires nice and warm, and then obviously put on some time, and then the guys will see exactly where they stand here this evening. So nice to see everybody here this evening. If you are joining us on the live stream, fantastic to have you on board here. As I said, smash the like button, and you can join us every Thursday round about 8 o'clock, where we'll bring you some of the best entertainment there is on a Thursday night, and that's definitely on the South African Racing Academy, Racing Community Online. And as I said, SARCO always willing to accommodate those of you that are interested in this format of racing. If you do have a console, the PC, PlayStation 4, then obviously this is the place to be. And as I mentioned, we will bring you all the entertainment that is required. So great driving going to be happening here this evening. So fantastic to have you on board, as mentioned. So I see lots of people already online, and yep, we've got already guys mentioning they want to be having a look at their favorites. So always good to have you here with us on the South African Racing Community Online. And as I said, we're going to be starting off with free practice, which is basically 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes left, and then we're going to be going into the qualification round, and then on to a 20-lap race here this evening. So great to have you on board. Lots of support for TNB this evening. David racing in this race. So Turbo and Bullets fans are here this evening. I see there are some individuals also looking for I see some of the comments coming through. Don't worry, staff, we're going to make you silent. Obviously that is from Dylan. So we've got 9 people watching, so fantastic to have you on board. And we're going to take you through some of the thrills and spills here this evening on the race circuit. Oh, there we go. Let's take out some tires there. I think Marius just put himself in a bit of a position I think he's got a bit of damage there as well. You can see some of the tire off there. He's already put himself back into the pits. He's going to be tuning up, making sure there's no further damage there. And then we'll be having a look at who else is on the track. Let's go with Turbo Charles at the moment. Turbo Charles in car number 14. And I'm sure we're going to be looking and putting our way through down the circuit, and obviously giving you some input to who is where and what this evening on this racing. So we've got 11 people in the championship this evening. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. Here is De Wit racing in car number 37 this evening. So he's going to be putting trying to put on some times as well. You can see already the times coming through. Jake's doing nicely there, car number 10. He's put on a 1 minute 52.500. So that's the benchmark here this evening. And we'll be seeing, I think Turbo Charles just done one better. Yeah. Yes, Turbo Charles has done one better than him this evening. He's put on a 1 minute 51. So nicely done there, Charles. And we'll be keeping a close eye on the guys here this evening. And then we have Bruno. Bruno's in third at the moment, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting to ensure that he puts Jake right behind him, as well as Turbo Charles. So I don't think he's going to give up on that time. We're not in qualies at the moment, but you can see already the sort of times that are coming through. So we'll be interested to see where the guys are lining up and landing up here this evening. So nicely done from the guys as well. So currently on board with Bruno, car number 7. Let's go down to Ross. Ross is in 4th at the moment. I think he is in car number 2 at the moment. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Ross this evening. And then we have Ash. Ash in car number 38. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to push his way up on there. And then we've got Andrew. Andrew racing for the Green Mambas this evening. 154. Roland is sitting in car number 9, and he's just put on a 155. And then Mel in car number 43. He's going to be looking also to put himself in a much better position at 155. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to make sure he does a good job there as well, and puts himself at least in the top 5 here this evening, or even higher. But we will be keeping a close eye on him at the moment. It looks like, to be honest with you, De Wit has put on a 137. He's racing this evening, as I said, for Turbo and Bullets. So we'll be looking closely to see where he's going to be coming out there. Dylan's still yet to put on a time there, as well as Marius, as well as Dupe. But I'm sure they will be putting on times. There we go. Dupe just put on a 155.7, 173. So he's basically 3 seconds off the pace leader at the moment. You know, I think he has to just have a look at that setup he's got on there. He'll be racing as well in car number 42 this evening, so we'll be keeping an eye on him as well. Let's go to Marius. Marius still to put up a time, but I'm sure he'll be putting up a time any second. He just did now 151, and that's also in car number 6, so very nicely done. He's off the track again. I'm sure he's going to be putting himself straight into the pits after that one. I think he's found his rhythm. And then, as I mentioned, this gentleman's still yet to go out there, but we'll have a look at what Dylan is doing, racing for, as I mentioned, the Green Mambas this evening. So fastest lap definitely put up this evening by Turbo Charles, 151.197. So here comes Dylan. Let's see what he can do this evening. currently in 12th spot. So is he going to turn that around? Is he going to be putting himself up at least into the top 3 guys this evening? Will be Wellington and watching what's going to be taking place there. About just under 2 minutes left on the practice side, so we'll be eager to see where he's going to be putting himself. I think he's been setting up that car, making sure the setup is right for this track here in BRNO in the Czechoslovakian Republic. And I can tell you right now, they are going to be looking somewhat to do something special here this evening. I can tell you that much. On the championship of the RSO1 GT Sports Edition of this Renault. It's a French car. Also up and about this evening, we have, as I mentioned, Pool 2 going on right now, so we'll see if we can get some information of what's actually taking place on that, but I can't guarantee we'll have that feedback, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be taking over there, and we'll have a look and see along those lines which guys are doing what and how and where they are going to be. We're watching Dylan at the moment because he's still got to put on a time, and I think we are down to 0 seconds, 65, 64, 63, 62 seconds left. And let's see if he can put in a time here in car number 39. No, he cannot, so he's gone off the track. A little bit wayward there, so I'm sure he's going to be putting himself in the pits, and then we'll be on to qualifications. So race is completed. Let's put ourselves up the line and have a look what we can do. Maybe I think we'll start off with this gentleman, Turbo Charles, who did put on the fastest lap during the practice session. And he's #1 driver at the moment, and I think he's sitting quite comfortably. Marius, nice drive from him at the moment during the practice session as well. Not that far off, to be honest. Not that far off at all. Here the guys are back in waiting just for everything to go well. And then obviously once that happens, they will go into from free practice into this race. So we'll be interested to see what's going on with the guys here this evening on the BRNO GP. It is in the Czechoslovakian region, and we'll see who's going to be putting up one this evening. As I see, it's put us back onto Dylan, so I'm sure the guys are going to be interested to see who's coming out first. It looks as though, looking at that particular shot, it is Ross who got out of the pits first, or was it Bruno who got out of the pits first? But I think it might be, yes it is, it definitely is Ross who got out into the pits. I think he wants to have a clear track, just to make sure that he's going to be putting on a great time there as well. And actually it could be also Turbo Charles out there. Yes, there's Turbo Charles. And we'll see who along those. It could be even Bruno that was out first, but we'll check it out at the moment. Doing a bit of side winding there to get those tires up and warm, especially under the conditions that we need to have. We are racing under this evening. We've got 13 minutes left of this qualification round, and then obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to go into 20 laps of racing, and we are pretty much intrigued to what's going to be taking place this evening. A lot of competition available here. A lot of talented drivers, so we'll be very keen to see who and where and what is going to be taking and who is going to be taking control of this race this evening. So, as I said, nice comments coming through. So, yeah, I mean, we have definitely the guys calling in and writing about their favorite drivers. So, great to see 12 guys watching the stream. That's fantastic. Keep up the magic support. Send out to your mates. Make sure they're watching this evening because it's going to be really a great race to watch with some very talented drivers up on display this evening. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing some great times coming through, especially on this track. Conditions are very, very difficult this evening. As you can see, a couple of guys already have hit a barrier or two. Cars are leaving the track, and I mean that's because of the tire conditions this evening. So hopefully they can get those tires nicely warmed up for this race and start setting some times. At the moment I don't see anybody with a time, but I'm sure that's all going to change in a couple of seconds. Obviously if they go off the track, it's going to not count. So that's the difficulty here. If they find you violating the track limits, it is not a valid time. So as I said, I'm sure the guys are going to be trying to get that up as best as possible to ensure that they are able to put on a time or two. So as I said, we're watching right now. It is Bruno. And no, this track is not named after him, but I'm sure he would want to win here this evening. I just stole that line from Dylan, so I'm sure he'll be looking to win or get up into the top places this evening. Let's have a look at Turbo Charles at the moment. As I said, one of the favorites for this race this evening. I do see that a time has been put up by Marius already, and you can see very nicely done there. And you can see at the moment the time's coming through thick and fast at the moment. Top Boykie this evening here in the Czech Republic is Turbo Charles. Turbo Charles puts on a time of 1 minute 51.047, which was quicker than what he was doing in the practice session. So he held that back a little bit. As you can see already, he's topped that in this particular drive. So that's fantastic to see. A great bit of racing from him there. Then we have Marius at 1 minute 52.074. Then we have Bruno at 1 minute 52.719. Jakes has put on a 1 minute 52.898. So great driving from him. Dylan, nice job from you, sir, at a 1:52.925. Then Ross coming at a 1 minute 53.05 of a second. So great job from him. And then Andrew, 154. Mal, 154. Dupe, 154. Ooh, Roland. Ronald, he's put on a 2 minute 02. So don't know quite what went down there, but I'm sure he's going to make that time change quite quickly. And then we have Turbo and Bullets driver David. I'm sure in car number 37, I'm sure he's going to be looking. And then we got Ash as well. He's going to be looking to try and change that as well. So Turbo Charles, let's go on board with him coming out of the pits right now. Car number 14 just coming into some traffic there. Yes, I think obviously pulling off to the side. Dylan just behind him, so let's see what he can put onto the pace this evening here. And you can see he's probably looking to make that lead a little bit longer. Yeah, I see we got a comment from Gerard. Go. Yeah, he's basically looking for the Sorry about that. I think I lost communication, but anyway, we'll just bring you back onto WhatsApp and update you right now. Yeah, Turbo Charles put himself into a great position. We've just got under 7 minutes left of driving here on the qualification lap, and it looks as though it is Turbo Charles leading the pack, as well as Marius, then Bruno. Jake's coming up nicely in 4th position there. Dylan still in 5th there. Ash in 6th. Ross moving down slightly into 7th position. And it does look as though we have Dupe as well as Andrew. We have Ronald, and then we have Mal, as well as TNB, which is David. David in 12th spot at the moment at a 156. So they'll be looking to make sure they put themselves at least in the top 10. The bottom 2 guys will be fighting for those positions. So as I mentioned, we'll be keeping you up and live on track of who is where and about here this evening. So yep, it is great to see the guys doing so well. Very excited about this evening. I'm very interested to see who's going to be doing what here this evening, and I'm sure we're going to be quite excited to see who is going to be taking this race to hand. As I said, at the moment, with the top runner at the moment, Turbo Charles, so we'll be keeping a good eye on him this evening. However, I do not want to put this gentleman out. I think Bruno is going to be looking to come back in a big way, as well as Marius, and even this gentleman who is Mr. Jake himself. He's going to be looking to see if he can put himself up in amongst the cat there. This is going to be something to watch. So car number 10, predictions this evening, if there's any, we'll be having a look at that. Dylan doing exceptionally well in a 5th position at the moment. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that as well. Neither Ash, neither Ross, or even Dupe this evening. I'm sure he's going to be looking to make a better time as well. We have Andrew, who's also driving for the Green Mambas this evening. I'm sure he's going to be looking to push himself up that roster list as well. Here we are on with Roland, and then it is definitely Mal, as well as Turbo and Bullets driver David. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to push himself up at least into the top 5 positions this evening. So we'll be looking at these drivers, trying to see what the strategy will be. Remember, this is a 20 lap race. There is a mandatory pit stop, so that's going to play into the hands of the other drivers as well. They're going to be looking at strategy. They're going to be concentrating. As I said, the weather at the moment, the condition is cloudy, but then it's going to go really overcast. Cold conditions at the moment going to play a big way into seeing how this race unfolds. So we'll be looking to see who is going to be doing what and where this evening. and I'm sure we'll be quite interested to see if we have a look at the standings as well as the splits this evening. We'll be having a good idea of who is sitting where and with what this evening. So let's just go on board at the moment. I think let's go into this particular point of view with BRNO and see how the conditions of the track are this evening. If we look at the splits, we already it does seem a little bit interesting. There's an overview. We can see the times and the time set quite nicely there, and where is everybody positioned and how that gap is. So if you look at those gaps, some of them are very narrow, and some of them are actually quite long. You can see the 3 seconds as well down in 11th place at the moment. So let's have a see and a watch on who's going to be coming back quite nicely there. So we'll be watching out for this evening's event. So nice to be on board at the moment, and BRNO just pushed himself back into 3rd position, so nice job from him. As I mentioned, I don't think he was going to be happy with that current position of what he was in, but nice to see he's actually put himself up into a position where he is now looking at doing something special this evening amongst the pigeons. And as I said, a cat amongst the pigeons here. He's going to be looking to definitely improve on that time. And even this gentleman here, which is Dylan, I'm sure he's going to be wanting as well to make a big change in his current position. So we'll be looking to see where he's going to be ending up in this qualification round. What I will do is see if I can put some more information up on the screen for you, and we can see where the standings are, as well as what the split between these guys are. We'll see if we can do that as well.
Look at Dylan.
Dylan's on fire tonight.
He is.
So he's practiced his pit stops.
To be on the pit strategy.
Oh shit, ja, dankie.
En jou brake balance as dit begin reën.
Ja. Twenty laps, né?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Julian, kan jy net fuel insit vir 17 laps, hoor?
Nee, okay, doopie.
Ek sien Jakes en Dylan, hulle is so 'n bietjie naby die aksie. Hy voetjies van die bewe op hy clutch.
I'm gonna have to do some serious practicing to keep up with you boys.
Alright, Ash, before you push the button, gentlemen, we're round number 4, BRNO RSO1. I don't need to explain all the rules, but please just make sure that you do have your pit strategy set, and there will be rain expected halfway through somewhere, depending on the game. So it will be somewhere between lap number 8 and lap number 10 does the rain come. Enjoy it, and please just be cautious in the first couple of corners. We do not need a repeat of what's happened in the BMWs. Ash, you're gonna let us go and let's have some great racing. And remember, once you've readied up, please just make sure that your microphone is off for the race. Enjoy.
Dankie.
Goed. Sterkste job.
Dankie,
Good luck, everyone.
Luck.
So as you've just heard the driver briefing as well as what the guys need to do, and I'm sure we're going to be quite taken back and to see where the guys are and what position they're going to be in. At the moment, we just want to make sure that everything is up and running straight. As soon as you see the synchronization, you know the guys are going to be out there. We are going to be trying to follow all the cars as best we can. So there is the sync on. There it comes up on the screen. So we're going to be ready to go in a couple of seconds. We're going to be seeing who is going to be where. They're away at the moment. You can see basically a nice pull away there from the top three. It looks as though, yes, Marius has squeezed past, but it seems as though Turbo Charles has fallen into second position, followed by Bruno. So let's have a look and see where the guys are going to be coming out. It looks as though that Turbo Charles looking to take him on the inside. Coming round, it looks as though that Marius has got some distance on him this evening. And also just checking back there, it looks as though a great drive happening. In fourth place there, Jake's coming through as well, so nicely done. Ash, it looks as though Turbo Charles has taken the inside and has overtaken Marius. Bruno's not going to let up. He's going to look for an opportunity as well to get through. And this particular sector we're going through at the moment, so great driving by all. No incidences to report on. It looks as though everybody got away nice and clean there. So nice job done by this particular group of racing guys at the moment. Let's fall back just a little bit back onto Jake's at the moment. He's looking to take Bruno on, and I'm sure he's not going to let him get too far ahead of him and look for that opportunity as best he can. Then if I have a look at Ash, let's go back to where Ash is at the moment. Also nice drive from him, keeping it clean at position number 5. Ross in position number 6. Andrew in position number 7. Then followed by Dylan as well as Dupe. Coming up is Ronaldo. He looks as though he's doing very nicely there. It looks as though Turbo and Bullet's driver, DeVitt, has come up a 1 position, so he's currently in 11th spot, as well as in 12th spot is Mal. So we'll be keeping a close eye on those individuals. Let's get into one of the cars at the moment and have a look at exactly who is chasing who and where we are going to be on board. Let's take a cockpit view at the moment to see who is where, and the distance between the drivers at the moment is now starting to spread out somewhat. So we'll keep a keen eye on the front runners at the moment to see if there is any change at the moment, because it is lap number 2 of 20 laps in this race. Remember, mandatory stop is applicable here, so the guys will have to take a mandatory stop, and that will be one of the strategies playing out this evening. Let's move just up 1 position on Marius, who has got Turbo Charles in front of him, and let's see if that goes to his plan this evening. Let's have a look at the distance. Here is the distance of Ross in position number 5. Jake's just in front of him, and let's see what he's going to be putting up and feathering him out this evening. If we go back, here's Dylan. Dylan has Ross in front of him, and that gap doesn't look too serious, so there is going to be a threat coming through, I'm sure, from Dylan on Ross quite soon. He's got to watch his way around this track, make sure that he's not going to have any issues here this evening, and that he's going to be keeping himself well informed and well in distance to make sure if he has to pounce, he's going to pounce on Ross this evening. Jake's doing quite nicely. If I have a look up on the track line, he's now in a position where he's coming up quite close to the driver in front of him, so we'll be watching these two here. I think there could be some play in this evening, so we will be watching and let us quickly make a decision here to go into cockpit view, and you can see how close these two are from one another, so we'll be watching this driving. Obviously looking for that gap. Is he going to take it now? We'll see. Nice driving from all. Conditions, as you can see, it looks as though there could be some rain in the air, and will this affect the overall result of this race is yet to be seen, but we will be keeping a close eye, as I mentioned, on the top drivers here in the top 4, because it is going to be close racing, that is for sure. Nice to see Turbo and Bullets. They've moved up into 9th position. That's David driving for the Turbo and Bullets team here this evening. Jake's doing quite nicely, keeping that Bruno in front of him, and I'm sure there's going to be some change going to happen there. He's going to try. Yes, does he go? Yes, he went in there. Oh, it is a slide. Looks like there is a bit of a ding bash there. But he is now coming back in, which has given, believe it or not, the opportunity to Ross to move into 3rd place. So he avoided all of that incident there, pushed himself up in 5th position now. It is the Green Mamba team, and that is Dylan. Nicely done from his side. It was a bit of a surprise to see that Bruno lost it there, and obviously it was nice to see that little incident there. I'm sure Jakes is not going to give up on Dylan now. He's going to see Dylan. I think there was a bit of damage done to the car, but they are in there. Yeah, not too much. If I have a look, very little damage done, so that was pretty lucky. Oh no, Jakes, he's lost it. He's going to fall down to 8th position at the moment. It might be that he goes right to the back of the pack, which he does do, unfortunately losing it there. But I'm sure he's going to come back quite nicely along the track. So, yep, that was quite interesting. Bruno sort of pushed himself back up into 3rd position now. So, not too sure. It looks as though Ross lost it as well. So unfortunately Ross losing out there, and he's already lost 3 positions just from that little incident. Obviously tires not where they should be, and obviously losing valuable time there. It looks as though now Turbo Shaw going way out in front. There is quite a distance between him and Marius, but I'm sure it's all lap number 5 at the moment. So when do these guys come in and do those mandatory stop? Is he going to go most of the way, or is he going to? And you can see the time set up there already is 1 minute 52.832, so a little bit more fuel than normal, especially through that qualification round. But I think they've put in the correct amount of fuel for this race. However, that doesn't mean anything. As you've seen, we've seen guys chop and changing here this evening, and it has been quite interesting. Here we go. We're on board with Dylan at the moment. He is got Bruno in front of him in 3rd place. There is quite a distance between him and 2nd and 1st. However, we'll see how that unfolds this evening. Here's Bruno at the moment, looking to be pretty stable. even though he did lose it just now. So hopefully he's got those tires nice and warmed up, and he'll be looking. Number 5 spot at the moment is definitely in the play seat car number 9. I think it is Roland. He's going to be looking to see if he can take the position number 4. He'll be pushing as hard as he can to pick up with Dylan. Dupe in position number 6, car number 42. I think he's also going to be keeping himself in as close as he can between. There is a 3-second gap. No, actually, sorry, I lied. There's a 1-second gap, so almost 2 seconds, but he is obviously keeping himself as close as possible, and you can see a nice shot there of the drivers coming down the straight. So great drive from the guys at the moment, and we'll be keeping our eyes peeled on the guys this evening. So here is unfortunately Ross. He lost it. Not too much damage to that car. I don't see too much damage, so I think he's going to be having an opportunity. He did put in a 2-minute lap there, so that just gives you an indication of how much time was lost during that last little incident there. You can see Andrew coming up, and Andrew's looking to overtake. Yes, he does, or does he not? Yes, he does. He takes over from Ross there. He has now Bruno also lost it again. It looks like Dylan into 3rd place. So Dylan having a nice little drive here. He's in 3rd position, followed by, looks like Ronald. Yeah, it is Ronald. And then we have Dupe in position number 5. He's going to be also eyes set and carried on trying to keep that in car number 42. So we'll be watching there. Bruno surprisingly gone back a few more paces. He's now in 6th position. So yeah, a little bit of a challenge coming up there. Turbo and Bullets driver. He's now, so pretty close driving between these guys. That's DeWitt at the moment in 9th position. So we'll be watching these guys. And as I mentioned, a nice bit of driving by all involved here this evening. They seem to be keeping themselves at bay, and there's lots of thrills and spills happening with the guys changing places. It looks as though Bruno's just moved up to 6th position at the moment. So nice drive. Coming back, let's see if he can do that. There is a distance between him and Dupe, and as you can see here, let's go to the top runners here at the moment. There's Marius, there's Turbo Charles. He's obviously kept that going quite nicely. Distance now is quite a bit in lap number 7, so he'll be looking to extend that lead in car number 14. And we'll be keeping our eyes peeled on him as well, because is this going to be another championship he's going to be holding this evening, or is it going to be Marius coming in, or even Dylan settling in quite nicely? He's making that 3rd position pretty stable for him. There is a 15-second gap though, so yeah, 13 seconds between him and 1st position. And then, as you can see, a nice bit of distance being held by Turbo Charles at the moment on the 2nd runner in this race this evening. So lights are going on. It is going to get a little bit darker. The weather is expected to be quite overcast. So we'll have a look, and I don't know if there's going to be rain here. But if that is the case, it's really going to change the dynamics of this race, which really can be quite exciting, all said and done. So we'll be looking out for that at the moment. So if we go back, 4th place is 17 seconds behind the leader at the moment. And as you can see, there is a little bit of distance now gaining between these two drivers. So positions 3, 4, and 5 pretty much bunched up, but we'll see how that goes in the next couple of minutes here. Bruno right back in 6th position at the moment in car number 7. So we'll be looking at that. This is Ross. Ross, You can see him in car number 2. He's got just behind him, who's moved up a place at the moment, and that's the Turbo and Bullets driver. It looks as though there is going to be an attack, but he seems to have taken it back quite nicely. Jake's coming from 12th position at the moment, looking to come back. He's looking at those angles. Let's have a look. Is he going to? No, he's still behind the Turbo and Bullets driver, David, at the moment, but you can see he's catching up nicely. Maybe what we should do quickly is see if we are able to go into, there it is, there is the overtake. So he now, no, it's back. He's gone back into 9th position, because there you can see it all happening here on the South African Community Online Racing. You can see the guys are really pushing the limits of the track, and it looks as though he's coming through, still looking for an area. Does he? Yes, he does very nicely, not to cause any incident there. So he's holding very nicely onto the track. You can see Turbo and Bullets driver David making sure that he is known on the road. I think this is track familiarity is not that great, because I don't think David has driven too many of these. He tries to go in the inside. Yes, there is somebody that comes off, and it looks like Ross, unfortunately, losing it there in front of David and Jake. So this means now that Turbo and Bullets driver moves up to position number 7. We are on board with Jake. He's in 9th there. It looks as though Andrew has now moved up to 9th position, and then Ross right at position number 10. Unfortunately, he got a little bit sideways and got himself into a position which was not controllable. So that's why Ross now moves back to 10th position at the moment. So let's go up a little bit. Let's have a look. Here we are. It looks like the Lone Rangers at the moment, because they are driving very long distances in front of himself now to position number 2, which is Marius. Marius doing nicely there at 1 minute 53s. Turbo Charles surprisingly at a 1:54.080 in the 9th lap. So almost halfway of this race is done and dusted. But we'll see where they come up now. Is there an opportunity? So there is no rain at the moment, but we'll see who is going to take that pit, and that will give forward the strategy. Or are they going the full way with the last couple of laps going to pull in to do that mandatory pit stop? Obviously you can see some excitement happening here this evening while we're watching this racing. So great drive once again by all the drivers, and I'm sure here they come through start and finish into lap number 10. So lap number 10 now is the leader. That is Turbo Charles. He's way out in front here. I think he's quite content with that, and we're going to have to watch what he's going to be up to. As you know, slightest error made and you are back down the ladder. So I'm sure he wants to stay on top of this ladder and make sure that he wins this race this evening. So nicely, nice drive to see what is going to be taking place here this evening. So let's keep our eyes out. I'm going to just go back to the view where we are outside of the car, because that obviously gives us a good indication, and you can see that distance is closing in quite nicely. Let's see if Marius can catch now Turbo Charles, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting to do that this evening. He wants that number 1 position of Marius. I'm sure he's going to be pushing as hard as he can to drag in Turbo Charles here this evening. As you can see, Dylan still in 3rd position at the moment, almost 20 seconds behind, but we do know that this gentleman here, Dupe, has moved up into 4th position, so that's nicely. Bruno back in 5th position at the moment, so he's now also brought himself up. And then Ronald, he's now in 6th position. Jakes has taken now the opportunity to get past Turbo and Bullets driver De Wit. So we'll be watching that as well. So I am looking up and down the roster as much as possible because there are some changes taking place. So nice driving once again by all. So we'll be seeing who is going to be the top dog for the evening. Now the question is, when do they come in for that mandatory pit stop? We're on lap number 11 on board with Turbo Charles, so we're pretty intrigued because we can see that Marius is dragging him in and hauling him in, as they would say. So he is keeping that distance between him and Turbo Charles quite in check to make sure that Turbo Charles doesn't get through or far away from him at the moment. But I'm sure the strategy from behind is to make sure that he goes in at the same time as Turbo Charles. So there is, and obviously to see who's going to, either it's going to be trying to get in a lap before or in a lap, because in this particular case it definitely will run down to who takes that pit stop and who goes in first. So we'll be looking to see what's going on. Yes, Nesmax, it is a great drive from De Wit, and I think he's doing exceptionally well. And yeah, definitely Dylan quite excited in 3rd place at the moment. I think, yes, he is going quite nicely, so nicely done from his side. We are on board with the number 1 driver at the moment, which is Turbo Charles. Very nice stuff from him, but the reason we're here is to see what's going to happen between the 2 top drivers. That's Marius and Turbo Charles at the moment. Who's going to go into the pits first for that mandatory pit stop? Because that will definitely have an influence on this race. So we're on lap number 12 at the moment, and watching quite intensively to see who is going to be pitting on these top 2 runners at the moment. Nice to see that that distance is closing, by the way. You can see now it's down under 1 second, so that's great driving. And I think Marius looking for any opportunity to close that gap. I think he's going to be watching his corners and seeing if he can take off those milliseconds to get closer and closer. It is up to 1 second again now between these 2 drivers, so very nicely done. However, let's see who is going to be where and looking for what position they're going to be coming out of at the moment. So yeah, I think the standings showing quite clearly who is where along the lines here. Turbo Charles in lap number 12. There we go. A couple of guys getting some penalties there, but he's staying out, so that's pretty much fine. He's going into lap number 13. There we go. Lap number 13. Down the straight, and as you can see, yes, there is that 1 second gap, but nicely done. Dylan still in a 3rd position here, 22 seconds behind. We're going to move up quickly just to see where Marius is, who's in position number 2 at the moment. He's obviously got that car number 14 Turbo Charles in front of him. lap times are in the 154s at the moment. So most of the guys being quite steady through their drive. You can see it's starting to get a little bit darker. A lot of interest going on what the tires would be at the moment. So we are interested in seeing that as well. So let's go on behind Turbo Charles and see where he is, because that's what Marius is seeing at the moment. He's only seeing the back end there. Yeah, where's Ash? Well, let me tell you where Ash is. He is currently out of the race. Ash, I think, is disconnected. It looks as though Ash is disconnected. So that is where Ash is, unfortunately. It's a lap number 14. 5 laps to go after this lap. But nicely done by Turbo Charles here. Let's have a look down the line. Where is and what's happening right now with Doopy in 4th position. Whoopsie. Marius has dropped down 5 seconds. I think he did. There was an incident there. Does this give Turbo Charles the opportunity to go in and pit? Could be, because there is 4 seconds in this now. Actually, there's 5 seconds in this, so I don't know if there's some damage that Marius has picked up, but we will see now. Let's go back now to Marius and see what his decision is. His decision is to stay out on the track, so quite interesting. Lap number 15. So basically 5 laps to go after this lap. It could be down to 4 laps. There has to be that strategy to go in. Take that mandatory stop. 8 seconds now. So that gap now is getting wider. And I'm sure Turbo Charles is looking now to see where he wants to be. Is he going to be taking the pit? And if he does, then he has that 8 seconds that he needs. Lost a little bit there. Here comes Jakes. Does Jakes come past? Yes, Jakes comes past that little incident. So therefore, Jakes moves up now into 6th position. So just from that little error made by Roland there, he's obviously lost that position. Puts Jakes up into where he wants to be. He's climbing back up that ladder. So what a fight he's putting on here this evening. So that gap now 9 seconds now between Marius and Turbo Charles. Turbo Charles not gone in. We're on lap number 16. So some decision has to be made of when and where to go into that for that mandatory pit stop. Remember, this is a 20-lap race. So nicely done by the guys here this evening. Let's just give you an overview there. 10 seconds now. There it is. Turbo Charles is 10 seconds in front. So he now has the opportunity to go in, do whatever servicing needs to be done, and get out. So now we have already Roland going into the pits. Is anything gonna take shape and happen here with Turbo Charles? Does he go in on lap number 16? Where's Marius now? Marius. He's also coming around. Let's just keep a close eye on Turbo Charles. When you gonna go in? So, is it now? No, it's not. Right past. He comes through. Lap number 17. There has to be now 3 laps to go, and he's got to do a mandatory stop. So we'll see where he's going to be ended up. There we go. Here we go. Now Marius goes in for that pit stop. So he now has made the decision. Where is Dylan now coming up? Dylan, is he going to make it out? Yes, he's going to take. Does he, or is he going to get that in place? They are taking some time. Bruno into 4th position now. No, Bruno's coming into the pits as well, but he's coming. Yep, he's coming into the pits. Strategy clear. Dylan now 25 seconds ahead. Does he come in now? 25 seconds behind. Does he make that decision? So now here they go. Andrew into the pit stops. Dylan moves up to 2nd position at the moment. Is his strategy going to be to go in 24 seconds behind the leader at the moment? The opportunity's calling now. So let's have a look. Where's Turbo Charles? Turbo Charles needing to make a decision now. Is it this lap? Or is he going to go one more lap? You can see at the moment there is a hell of a distance between him and 2nd position. 23 seconds. 23 seconds on a racetrack is a hell of a long way, guys. He stays out. So we have somebody pitting in the back there. Dupe. Is now Dylan gonna take? Yes, Dylan takes. There we go. There he goes in to take the mandatory pit stop. Dupe coming in and taking the mandatory pit stop. This means, where is Jakes? They are basically 48 seconds behind. You can see at the moment there is some distance between him and Dylan, almost 1 minute 34 seconds, but that is being caught up extremely quickly at the moment. And there you go. Dylan is out of the pit lane. Does he make it? Jakes goes out in front of him into 2nd place. which now means that Marius has come back into 4th place. Still 2 gentlemen to make pit stops, so we got to see what's happening there. Turbo Charles now. There is definitely a 48-second gap between him and Jakes at the moment. Does he take this pit stop now, or did I miss the pit stop? This is the question. I don't think so, to be honest. Unfortunately, this is not like the F1 game where I can see whether they've taken the pit stop or not, but let's have a look. Yes, he's going in. So I was right. Let's have a look. We got Jakes at the moment. Strategy in. How long does this take, guys? You can see that time getting less and less. Here we go. Quite a distance in. We are holding. You haven't lost me. Here we go. So, where is this gentleman gonna come in now? Marius. He's gonna stay out. But this is the gentleman we're gonna be looking at. He's already out on the track. Lap number 19 of 20. Jake's just been overtaken by Marius, so he comes back into 2nd place. Jake's, he's there. Strategy unknown, is it? We know that Marius is already pitted. Jakes, Dylan into 4th position. Just behind him, Turbo Bullets driver, Divert. Nicely done. Some really close driving here this evening. Great to watch. Bruno in 6th. Here is Dupe. Then we have Ross. Mal down in 9th place. Andrew. And then, unfortunately, we've got Ronald, who had some issues a little bit going on there. Ooh. So lap number 20 is our forerunner, and almost the winner of this evening's event is Turbo Charles. Doing very nicely the whole race, has led this race the whole way. 10 seconds between him and Marius. So yes, even though Marius has collectively caught up to him, there's still that 10 seconds gap between him and 1st position. So Marius did try very hard to catch Turbo Charles, but unfortunately this evening, Turbo Charles takes the checker flag. If there's no more incidences after this couple of bends. So nice drive at the moment from Turbo Charles, leading this race the whole way. Dylan comes back into 3rd position. Obviously, TMP driver gone in now. So Dylan gonna take 3rd spot. And here we go. Into almost finishing this race is Turbo Shaw. Almost in the record books for winning this. And very nicely done from his side. So he's going to take checkered flag for this evening's event. He has just won this event in the Renault ROS1. Congratulations, Mr. Turbo Charles, this evening. And you put on, it did, Marius try to catch him up. Yes, he did. Oh, no. There has been a placement and penalty decision. It looks as though Dylan takes number 2 spot. So currently, as we stand, it is Turbo Charles, Dylan, Marius, Bruno, Dupe, Mal. It looks as though, yes, Ross, Jakes, Turbo and Bullets driver, David, Andrew, and Ronald. Ronald. Gotta get it right. Nicely driven by all.
What happened to the rain?
Dankie man. Ek weet nie wat ek hier gebeur het.
What happened to the rain?
What happened to the rain?
What?
Exactly.
What a fuck up.
God.
No, man, guys.
What a
Sorry,
bad
man.
lap on racing wet.
Hey, what kind?
I was driving with such a soft car because of the rain. I messed up my pit stops.
No, it messed up everything.
Yeah.
What happened, Dylan, is
Me
when
too.
you left, Ash became the host and he didn't change his settings from his last race.
Wait,
Oh,
Ash, don't proceed, Ash. Don't proceed.
Okay.
I'm sure it was that, because
Gave me
where
a
was the
full
rain?
tank when I fueled.
No.
I messed up something with the pit stops.
So just to give you
Exactly.
the finals there, and I'm going to just mute the
check
guys,
now. Yeah,
so
we'll
we
have to
can
double-
obviously just finishing off the event this evening. It was Turbo Charles, Dylan in second place, which obviously was done. You could see a 10-second penalty come up on Marius. Then Bruno, Doopy, TTR, and then Jakes in 6th place, Ross in 7th, Mal in 8th, Turbo and Bullets in 9th, and then Andrew in 10th spot. So that is that, done and dusted. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check us out next week, where we'll be continuing on the South African Race Community Online. You can pick us up on the Facebook page, and obviously you can see exactly what's going on. So we did enjoy having you on board with us this evening. It was great having you with us. So please make sure that you join us next week, where we'll be taking on these little monsters here, and everybody within the group that you are watching this evening loves these little cars. So next week, and you will be able to see Thursday night, we'll be taking care of the SARCO Season 3 2018 BMW E30, the 1991. We'll be taking on these little monsters, so be a part of the action. Don't miss out. As you know, there are 2 heats in this particular format. There is a practice session, then goes into 2 separate qualifications, and then it is all done and dusted. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed every moment with us. So we do appreciate your time. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. If you are new to the channel and you want to get in touch with us, please do not hesitate. You can get hold of us here at the South African Racing Community Online. We are always available to talk to you guys and let you know what's happening and what is taking place. So thank you once again for joining us, and we will see you next time here on the South African Racing Community Online.